And a very good morning to you, gang. It's Tuesday, the 4th of December 2018. Welcome to the Chapel Hill Marina and this morning's United Kingdom talk on a very, very cold morning. And yet another new challenge as I arrived at my caravan last night, which I'll come to in a moment, boys and girls. I noticed we've had a few framed picture dropouts when we started there, which seems to have stabilised. Hopefully that'll be all right this morning. Okay, well, good morning to you. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It's really cold this morning. Actually, it's warmed up a bit now, but I think when I got here last night, we were in the minuses, only slightly, but nevertheless in the minuses. Last night at the karaoke was we celebrated Ray's birthday last night, Ray Reynolds' birthday. So that was nice last night. Got him a little bit of a cake and sang happy birthday, the usual thing. Ray does make me laugh. I've brought him up onto the stage to sing karaoke, and he goes into one of his bloody monologues, dear. We've brought you up onto the stage. You don't need to be talking into the microphone all the time, love. That's for me to do. That's for me. He started telling jokes or something. I don't know what he was going on about. It was like another language. Happy birthday, Ray. Hope you had a nice time last night. And also, non-Irish Mary from Ireland turned in as well last night. And she was sitting on the table, taking it all in, wondering what the hell was going on around her last night, as I think we all were. It was a little bit quiet last night. Not dead, but certainly a little bit quiet than it has been last night. I wouldn't be surprised if people stayed in because of the cold weather. Ray also bought me in a little Christmas gift, which was nice, which is in the car. It's got a little golden teddy bear on the top. You know, those gold wrapped chocolate teddy bears on the top. So that was really nice. Thank you, Ray, for that. Maureen bought me in sandwiches, which is why you've got a show this morning, because now, when I get here on a Monday night, I've eaten already. So I literally bring my bags in. I do have a cup of tea when I get here, and then I go to bed. Although it wasn't so simple last night. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Don't rush me, because I'm going to come to your messages first, then I'll get into stories, all right? My mate gave me a really nice Christmas card. Now, I'm not one, I'll be honest with you, I'm not one that does cards, whether it's birthdays or Christmases, or I just don't. You know, some of us do, some of us don't. My mother, she would start writing Christmas cards in September. I kid you not, and by Christmas, she had a stack of them like this. And my mum never ever forgot birthdays or Christmases. She had a book. She had this little blue book, okay? Not very big, and everyone's birthday was written down in it. Of course, you could got apps to do this now, and your Apple phone, I think, has got a date thing where if you type something in, you can tell me every year, and it just keeps coming back. And I've got a few birthdays on there, like just family, really, members on there like that. But my mum had this book, and it was full of birthdays and the Christmas card list. And she had this book, and she'd just open the book and start writing out the Christmas cards. And people at my mother's funeral, which was just over 18 years ago now, people were coming up to me at the funeral saying, "Can't believe your mother never missed a birthday. She just had them all written down like that." So some people do cards. And as I say, by just before Christmas, she had this stack like this, and she'd have to go to the post. Well, I mean, she wouldn't keep going to the post office. She'd get to the post box with this carrier bag full of cards. You know, these were the days where it wasn't particularly expensive to send a card. You know, when I say not expensive, well, in the grand scheme of things, I don't suppose it's expensive to send a card now. And what is it to send a letter? I don't even know, to be honest. It's probably about 75 pence to send a letter. And then when you think about it, you can post a card in Bracknell, and it can end up in Edinburgh the next day for 75 pence. I think that's blooming good. I think that's really good. The problem occurs at Christmas time, where I know some of you do like sending the cards. You have got the time to sit down and write them all. And when I receive cards, I'm always very grateful for them. I don't send them myself. I just don't. But if I receive some, it doesn't mean I'm going to rip them. Oh, don't want that. Chuck it away. No, I'm very grateful for cards and that sort of thing. But when you go to the post box, if you are a card writer at Christmas, 75 times I don't know, 50, that's a considerable sum of money. That's, I don't know what it is, that's 75 times 50, that's 7, 12, 28, that's 40 quid odd, isn't it? Something like 40 quid. Or maybe you have even more to send. That's when it becomes expensive. And some people, they send their Christmas cards by electronic ones, don't they? You know, you can order them off the internet and send it by an email, or little things they send around on the Facebook messages, you know. I don't do the pass on things. I never do those. Doesn't matter what it is, I never do the pass on things. You get an awful lot of hoaxes like that. You know, I'm sure you've had the comment the Facebook message yourself. Please pass this on. Jody Walsh is a hacker. If you get an email from him, delete it immediately. I'm sure you've had all those. As well as that, here is a snowball, pass it on, keep the... I never pass stuff on like that. But sometimes people, but they send you because you know no thought has gone into it. Do you see what I mean? If someone has sent me a personalised Christmas message, hello Chris, you know, hope your Christmas goes well, I've been doing, then I know it's personalised. If you've just sent something that's like a cut and paste and forward, or there's been no thought, why bother doing it? Why bother doing it? This is why it is nice to receive cards. And someone takes the time and trouble. Some people buy a box of cards, fill them all out quickly, send them off. But other people go into a shop. I'm not one of them. I'm a box, you know, buy the box and quickly fill them out, probably. There are some I select personally, certainly one for my sister and my nieces and nephews. They don't get one out of a box. And there are certain people, even not necessarily family, that I will send a card to, and they are very personalised. I will go and select one in a shop. And indeed, I want to show you this one. That it's my first Christmas card of the year, actually. That's come from my mate. He gave this to me a couple of days ago. And he said, oh, you can open it if you want, but not yet. Not yet. I haven't opened it yet. Well, I didn't open it yet. I've opened it last night when I got here in the caravan. Okay? And it's from my best mate. And it says, to Chris, have a wonderful Christmas. Have fun with the family. Lots of love, Ronnie and Andy. That's his other half. And it's got this on it. Look. That is metal. Isn't that lovely? That is actually metal, and it says 25th of December. Can you see that's just shining a little bit up? There we go. Isn't that lovely? Metal thing. So that would have cost a little bit of money, wouldn't it? But that's a wonderful Christmas card. So he don't watch these programmes, Ronnie, generally. Sometimes he says to me, oh, and he might have a conversation. I said, well, I've talked about that in the show already, you know. Oh, have you? Yes, I have. He does. He's just got a new telly, 65-inch. Now, his living room is small, not in the caravan, obviously, but his living room in his house is smaller than my one. He's just got a 65-inch telly. It's massive. And he said, oh, he sent me a picture of the telly. I said, that's even better. You can watch me even clearly now, even more clearly now than you can already. How fantastic for him. How lucky is he to have purchased the television so that he can see me even better than he does now. Yes. Morning to Glenda. Thanks very much. Received your email, Glenda. Much appreciated. I'm sure that'll be there in a couple of days' time. Glenda's sent me something for the post as well, haven't you? Thank you very much, Glenda. Morning to Simon Geen, who is there texting away. He said, hey, Mr. He calls me Mr. Chop Chop because as a way of speeding things up, sometimes I say to people, come on, chop, 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 chop. You have to be a little bit careful if they're from Asia. They can be offended by that. Do you know what I mean? Chop, chop. Come on, chop, 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 chop. And Simon says, hey, Mr. Chop Chop, you know when you said people text and say, call me? Which they do. Do you ever get that? You know, you might be sitting there and beep, beep, your phone goes off and it says, oh, hello, it's David. Please call me. I mean, the thought hasn't gone through their head to pick up the phone and call you. They send you a text. Please call me. I never understand that. Never get that at all. He says, what I do is call them back, say text me, and then hang up. That's a good one, Simon, I must say. And he also says, Mr. Chop Chop, the I'm a celebrity dingo dollar question. We learnt that 37% of UK women said their partners were better cooks. I was a better cook than my ex. Her idea of a surprise dinner was to soak the label of the tins. the label on. Thank you very much, Simon. Very humorous this morning. Very humorous. Where's Maureen this morning? Come on, Maureen. Are you there yet, my darling? She bought me in sandwiches, as I say, last night, and crisps. And, oh, Maureen, I must request that you don't do that again. I really, really appreciate. I always feel a little bit guilty about, when someone's done something for you. So thanks ever so much. But, do you know what I mean? And Maureen put in a small bar of Little Galaxy last night. And I've got to tell you, that's the first bar of Galaxy I've had for over a year. For over a year. And I do not want to get into that again. I don't want to get into that. The only crisps I have during the week are the 2 small bags that Maureen puts in my little lunchbox on a Monday. They're the only. Oh, she did bring me in Friday as well last week as well. But generally, they're the only ones I have. I don't buy crisps or chocolate. Very rare. Sometimes I buy fudge, which is actually worse than crisps or chocolate. Fudge is one of the worst sweets you can buy for trying to lose weight. I did weigh myself yesterday. I'm stable from last week at 12 stone 11 at the moment, which has been creeping up since July. In July, I was 12 stone. I'm now 12 stone 11. I'm trying so hard. I'm not going to Slimming World at the moment because I can't go to the one I used to go to. I could join one up here. But it didn't go up last week. And considering I had, I think, 3 lots of chips and a pizza and some ice cream, I'm quite surprised. On the other hand, I have been swimming every day since last Thursday, and hopefully I'll be going again today, although I might have to wait in for someone. I'm not sure yet. But I'll come to my latest caravan chat. Every time I come up here, there's a new challenge. And one came last night. I'll tell you about it after referring to your very, very important messages. Here we go. First message of the day goes to the lovely Diane Jebb. Good morning, Diane. Is it cold where you are this morning? Woo! It was cold getting up here last night, my dear. Good morning on YouTube to Paul and Lou in Birmingham. Adam the plumber, good morning to you. John Parrish, good morning, John. Got your keyring attached to my caravan stroke studio keys now, John. Thank you. Christina, morning, Christina Ewing, who's in Germany. She's still in Germany at the moment, missing the UK and Portsmouth, but hope to be home for Christmas. Driving home for... Oh, how's that song go? Da, 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 da. I love that one, Driving Home for Christmas. Chris Rea. We are now allowing Christmas songs at the karaoke, I'm pleased to tell you. Last night... Now, what did I do? Did I do it? I don't know if I did it last night now. Yes, I did. Merry Christmas, everyone. Shakin' Stevens. That's my little Christmas number. Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. That one. I did that last night. Maureen did Mistletoe and Wine, which is one of my favourite Christmas songs as well, by the great Cliff Richard. Oh, he's had some hard times, hasn't he, Cliff Richard recently. Poor old Cliff. Good morning to Katie and Patterson. Good morning, Katie. You were up late last night, weren't you, Katie? Replying to something I put up there. Good morning, Katie. Adrian Richardson is still in his sick bed. Adrian, have you got man flu, love? I bet you just sneezed once 3 weeks ago and you've been in bed ever since. Am I right, Adrian? Come on, Ad. I think you're stringing that out a bit long, aren't you? Don't go anywhere. I've got a great story to tell you in a minute, by the way, boys and girls, as soon as I finish these messages. My mum was the same, man, and Katie says here with a little birthday book. I think that's of an age, isn't it? You know, ages gone by. I don't know anyone that does that anymore. I'm not quite sure how many cards my sister sends. I'll ask her later when I chat to her. Good morning to Matthew Joplin. Good morning, Matthew. DJ, big time DJ at Pop World, one of the Pop Worlds in London. Going out for dinner with him and some of his friends. Can I have a selection of people to choose from who I might want to sit next to? I don't want anyone my age. Don't be sitting next to me, anyone my age. They're just boring. Someone young and pretty. I don't mind sitting next to Paul again, actually. Paul on one side and I can have Chris on the other. Is Duke coming? Dukey boy Chris. And then they can fight over me. No, I don't want to sit next to anyone my own age. No, thank you. Christ, I want to have something nice to look at for 5 minutes. while I'm sitting there munching away on a bag of chips or something. Tony Airey, good morning, Tony. He does I beg your pardon, community radio down there in Sussex. Good morning. We're very well here. Tune into my soul show on Burgess Hill Radio. I could do jingles for you, Tony. Would you like me to do one now? Go on, get your tape record. Shall I do you a jingle, Tony? You ready? You can cut and paste this out anyway afterwards. Here we go. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Tony Airey's with the soul show. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Burgess Hill Radio. There you go. Is that good enough for you, Tony? Very professional. Look, I'm not even going to charge you. No charge for my friend Tony. Soul man. He's a soul man. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Couple of soul records for you, Tony, which you probably know already. Some of my favourites, not so well known. Mr. Manic and Sister Cool. You know that one? Shack Attack. And I think one of my favourite records of all time, and I haven't heard it played on the radio since Tony Blackburn played it in the 1980s, was Evelyn Champagne King, Give Me One Reason. Do you know that one? Give me one reason not to leave you, Baba, and I won't leave you. Da, da. And I love Diane Shaw's stuff. I love her stuff. Second time around. Love Diane Shaw. Of course, you've met her, haven't you? And everyone else. I'll see a picture of with you and Alexander O'Neill. Yes. He says, I'll have a lovely surprise if you love the pop group Odyssey. Yes, I do. I've seen Odyssey, Tony. This would be back around 1991, maybe 1990, 1991. There was a night at the Fridge on Tuesday nights. Now, what was it called? I can't remember what it was called. It was a gay night at the Fridge, early 90s in Brixton. And one night they had Odyssey on. And the announcement, and please welcome Odyssey. And the curtain rose. And there were two of the most enormous... Was it one or two? Oh, I can't remember. I think it was two. There was two of the most enormous mirror balls you have ever seen in your life, turning around, and then come through them was Odyssey. And there they were. They came on the stage holding hands. I'm a native New Yorker. So I've seen Odyssey. They're great. So what's the surprise? Do tell me. John's not sending cards. That's all right, John. You don't have to send a card. Good morning to Misha Kalesweski. I think now, where would that be for? Is that like Polish or Russian, something like that? Michael Lawrence. Good morning, Michael. Welcome to the show. No more snakes for me. No snakes, thank you very much. I know I've received your keyring, John. Don't worry about that. Let's have a look there. Who's Roy? Who is Roy? What are you talking about? I think it's Roy. Who do you think is Roy? Paul, I was in a charity shop the weekend and they were playing Rock and Roll Christmas, Gary Glitter, which was a bit unfortunate. Gary Glitter. Oh dear. He was a naughty boy, weren't he? My sister used to have... I'll just move that camera around a little bit. My sister used to have Gary Glitter posters all... She was obsessed by Gary Glitter. Thank God he didn't get her hands on her. Dear me. Have you seen the Top of the Pops video where he shoves his... No, that wasn't him. That was Jimmy Savile. He was another one, weren't he? Jimmy Savile. There's a Top of the Pops, a clip on YouTube video where there's a girl standing in front of Jimmy Savile, and all you can see is him with that stupid hair and the glasses holding a microphone, and there's a pretty girl in front of it, and suddenly she jumps forward. Well, of course, he's pinched her bum or something, hasn't he? Shocking, really. Adrian, it's not man flu. I got 5 gashes. We have had surgery on myself by a surgeon with a specialised team. And I can say my weight is stable at 118 kilograms. Oh, I don't know what that is in pounds or stones. and was not it wasn't a gastric band operation either, or plastic surgery, or personality bypass. It was a life-threatening operation. If I cancelled it again for the third time, but you give me the Galaxy chocolate bars to me if you have a problem with them. Thank you very much. Well, I hope you're better. Thank you, Mac. It's a nice beard, isn't it? Good morning, Mac. I'm up here a lot. That's why I haven't been in Wokingham anymore. I hardly come to Wokingham at all now, which is why I haven't seen you in your wonderful hairdressers in Wokingham there. I think am I missing out messages here? Why hasn't that appeared on here? That should have appeared on there, but it hasn't. One moment, please. Let me just refer there. John Paris, Adrian. I haven't missed anyone out, have I? No. Oh, we did. That's strange. Max one's appeared on there. Ray Reynolds not with us either this morning. Where is everyone today? There's no. Hang on. No Maureen. No Ray Reynolds. No one's here. Oh, there she is. Maureen's there. Maureen's there. You're a bit late this morning, dear. Have you only just joined us, Maureen? We were here at 9:25, my love. Anyway, so as you know, every time I come up here, I seem to have same sort of up here in Lincolnshire. I have some sort of challenge, and last night was no different. So I got here, opened the door, and my fan heater and the convector heater were on in the living room and had been on for a couple of hours. I opened the door and that was nice and toasty when I came in, because when I got here, let me tell you, there was frost everywhere. Outside the front on my little wooden veranda, I have an old caravan, it's quite old. So outside, I've got like this fake grass on the veranda. And when you walk over it, it crunches if it's been frosty. Crunch, 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 walking along there. Got to the door, put the key in the door, turn the handle. And as I turned the handle, I realised there was all icicles on the outside of the handle. Anyway, so I give it a tug. Door wouldn't open, would it? Door is frozen solid. Anyway, I give it one massive tug and it opens straight away. Not too much of a problem, okay? So I've come in. First thing I always do when I come into the caravan is put the kettle on. So I run the tap for a couple of for 10 seconds or so, because I haven't been here for a few days. Fill up the kettle, put that on. Once that's on, I go back to my car. I usually make 1 or 2 trips to the car, bringing stuff in. So I've got my cool box to bring in, and I've got my bag of clothes, which was particularly big today because I put some extra towels. I don't do it everywhere. Every couple of weeks I'll change the sheets. So this week I'll take the sheets home and wash those. I have one spare set here. You only need one set of stuff here and all that. And so the clothes are in, and another bag. I can't remember what the other bag was. No, it was 2 bags of clothes and my bag of pills and my bag of tablets. So that's fine. And when I've put the kettle on, I then go to the gas fire and light that. And then I turn the electrical heaters off. So the gas fire's on, that's on, back to the car, bring my stuff in, lovely. So I then go into the bedroom, which is freezing cold, because that doesn't have a heater on it. I can't turn all the heaters on at the same time, because as I said to you before, in a caravan, you don't have so much electricity coming into a caravan. So you have to be careful what you're turning on. Otherwise, it trips out, which is only a case of going around the back of the caravan and turning it back on again. But you don't want to do that when it's freezing cold outside. So I put my clothes away, come back in the living room, got my cup of tea, and I'm sitting down there drinking my tea. Finished my tea, went into the bathroom to brush my teeth. Here's where it goes wrong. So when I brush my teeth, I've got sensitive teeth. And I usually use warm water to brush my teeth. So I put the tap on. Sometimes the tap in the bathroom takes a little while to warm up, so I'm waiting for it to warm up. I've got my tap with the electric toothbrush, fully charged. No hot water. I thought that's odd. Anyway, I left it on. Still no hot water. So I went to the water heater, which is like it's like a very small boiler, but all it does is heat the water as it comes through. An instantaneous. Is it? I think the old term was water geyser. Was it a water geyser? But it's not actually on the tap. This is like in a little cupboard. Gone in there, pilot lights off. I thought, oh, well, that's strange, because I'd already had the hot water on in the kitchen to wash my hands when I got here. Gone back to the cupboard, so I thought, okay, well, I'll relight it again. So you have to, and it's not, you don't, there's no electrical thing in there. It's like a click thing. I think it's called, I don't know how it does light. I don't know what that is. Is there some sort of electrical connection there? I don't know. I don't know how it works. Anyway, so you twist the thing, and it's really old. This water heater must be 25 years old. It's rusted at the top and everything. Anyway, so you turn it back to the right, and you do that, and it goes click, and you have to hold it in, and there's loads of gas coming out, like that, flames going up like that, all blue flames. And then after 10 seconds, you turn it round to either 2 for very hot, or 1 for hot or warm, right? So I did that, and that all looked like it was all light and fine. So that was it. Remember outside, I've told you already, it's freezing, really cold outside, really cold. Gone back in there, turned the tap on, still no hot water. Well, that's odd. Gone to the kitchen, no hot water. Gone back to the cupboard, the gas is out again. I thought, well, this is very strange. Turned it back round to the side, done it again. Let go, pilot light's on. Then it went off. I thought, why does this pilot light keep going off like that? I thought, I wonder. So I went to the living room, gas fire, off. Well, why is the gas fire off? So now there's no gas coming through at all. And I thought, well, I bet I must have had a gas leak or something, you know, outside, or maybe someone's nicked the pipe work or something. And I thought, oh, well, damn that, because that's a brand new gas bottle that I put on last week. Now, these gas bottles are very tall. I'll take a picture of one at some time. They're very tall and orange, and about 55 quid. But a 55, I've no idea how long a 55 quid gas bottle lasts. You have to put locks on them, although it doesn't seem to be much trouble, if any, or at all around here of stuff getting nicked. But certain people nick these sort of things, so you've got to have chains on them and locks. So I've got chains and locks on them around the time. So I thought, well, I hope I haven't lost all my gas while I've not been here. Possibly there's been some sort of leak, or I haven't tightened the nut on there, or something like that. And I thought, well, I can't be bothered now. I'm going to bed. In my bedroom, electrical heater which is on. Now, it was very, very cold last night. I'd have to say, I was a little bit chilly in my bedroom last night, even with the heater on. I must say, that's an oil heater. I do have. I must admit now, I've got a convector heater. I've got 2 oil heaters. Now, the oil heater in here does quite well. I'm quite warm now. Sitting here talking to you, I'm quite nice and toasty and warm. In the bedroom, it doesn't seem to do so well, and it's a slightly larger one. What I find are the best heaters are the fan heaters. You put them on, put them in a room, and 5 minutes later, the whole thing's warmed up so quickly. It really has. So just before I got into bed, I got another fan heater, pointed it at the bedroom, and put that on for a while. And within a couple of minutes, it was nice and warm. Turned it off and left the oil radiator on all night long in my room. So in the morning, let's just read a couple of messages. Adam says, spark ignition is what you were thinking of for the boiler. Yeah, I don't think there's any electrical connection in that water heater thing. It's like, I don't know if is there some sort of crystal or something that it clicks. When it clicks, I can't actually see a spark. Or maybe there is some sort of electrical connection in there. I don't know. I really don't know how that thing works. Adrian says you have to change on the gas bottles for health and safety. You have change on the gas bottles for health and safety. Try that again, Adrian. Don't understand that, please. Can you write that again in some other way? Oh, there's Ray Reynolds. Good morning, Ray. Thank you for last night, which was great. Very thoughtful of you to arrange my birthday cake. I won't lie to you, Ray. If you do get a birthday cake at Central Station, they're not like massively expensive at all. But I think it's not. I like to try and make someone feel a little bit special now and again. You know, if I can. if you allow me to. So thank you, Ray. Ray's coming on Friday this week, meeting his cousin in the West End. Oh, that's nice. Well, we'll see you there, Ray. Just for your information, Ray, you're not coming up on the message things again. It's not anything you're doing. I don't know why, but Ray's messages don't come up. And I think his is the only ones that this happens to. I have a message thing in front of me there where all the messages come up. And on here, I monitor the show here, you see. That's me chatting away there. And the message is on there. Now, he comes up there, but not on there. And I can see everyone else's. Adam, Adrian, Lou, Katie. Strange, isn't it? So I went to bed. This morning I woke up. Again, went into my living room. The heaters had come on perfectly, all on time switches, so that was all right. And I thought, well, I'll try the gas fire now. Trying the gas fire. No, won't come on. Nothing. Nothing at all. No gas whatsoever. Went to the water heater, tried that. That won't come on either. So I thought, damn, something's gone wrong. So I have the number of a plumber. There's a bloke who comes round and does everyone on there. And he's a nice bloke. He's very down to earth. You know, you can swear your head off in front of him and he'll swear back to you and all that. One of those, a proper bloke. Do you know what I mean? A little bit like myself, a real man. Pardon? A real man, that's what he is. And lovely chap to speak to on the phone. So I got an answer phone. This was just after 8 o'clock. I thought I'd catch him before he starts taking other jobs on. So I left a message and I said, you know, I come up last night, it's freezing cold. The gas won't work. I can't light anything. Put the phone down. So I've gone over to make my tea and get my breakfast. Come back over and the phone's rang and it's Paul on the phone. And he said, have you got one of those changeover regulators or a single one? Now, to explain, this is as new to you as it is to me. Believe me, I'm learning all this as I go along, right? So a changeover regulator is like, it's kind of like a mechanical switch that you point either to 1 or to 2, right? This is a way of connecting both gas bottles to one pipe. So you put the 2 gas bottles on and it's on number 1, right? That runs out. Instead of having to go out there with a spanner and all that, you simply go to number 2 and then number 2 gas bottle starts supplying the gas. And then, you know, ideal if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and your gas goes. You don't really want to go out there with a spanner and start undoing things like that to change the damn thing over, do you? And I said, I haven't got one of those. Okay, so when a gas bottle goes for me, I have to undo the nut, take the pipe off, put it on the other one, do the nut back up, turn that on. And I've turned that one off as well before I've taken the thing off. And I don't have one of those. I said, no, I've just got a single little black thing. He said, oh, that's good. He said, right, go and heat some water up in your kettle, pour it over the black thing, and that will free it. He said, because apparently the propane doesn't or rarely freezes, but in that little black thing is vapor. I don't think the liquid, I think he said the liquid gas doesn't get into that. When it gets into that thing, it becomes vapor, and if it's really cold, it can freeze. I said, oh, well, thanks very much, Paul. I'll give that a go and I'll ring you back in 20 minutes. So I put the phone down. I finished my breakfast and my tea. And then I didn't quite boil. I was a bit funny about putting it. I said, is it all right to put boiling water? He said, don't make any difference. It's all metal. You can't damage anything. Oh, right. But I was a bit wary of putting boiling water on. So I nearly boiled a kettle and I left it for a moment. And then I went out and I poured the hot water on. I thought, well, this isn't going to do anything. Why is this isn't going to work? You know, I poured this hot water on top of the thing. The whole kettle went over there. Steam coming up all over the place. I come back inside. I thought, well, do I need to wait for a while or shall I just do it? And I thought, no, I'll do it. So I turned the gas on. Straight away, the fire came on. I thought, wow. And then I went to the water heater, click, on came the gas there. How fantastic is that? How easy was that? So I've learnt something new today. I also went on one of the Facebook groups and This was before I spoke to Paul, but it was a bit early and I don't think anyone was up or they hadn't seen the message. And I put the request on there and there was people on there. I know, just go outside and put hot water over the little regulator and that's what will work. So that's what, and everything's working now. The fire was lovely and warm. That soon heated it up. The gas, as I say, the water heaters burst into life, and everything's working. Isn't that great? How easy was that? So I learned that today. Also, some of the Paul was saying you want to put something over the regulator if it's really cold, and that should stop it freezing, but it might not. If it doesn't, that's the answer. Just put hot water over the thing. Isn't it? So every week I come up here, there's a brand new challenge. There really is. As I was driving up here last night, I was watching the old temperature gauge going down and down and down. And I think when I got here, I think it was 1 degree, it said. But remember, that's in the car, so maybe it was a little bit more than that. Very strange. Katie says, see, real men know everything. And that's true, Katie, actually. And there are some real men who pretend to know everything, as you well know, Katie, don't they? Fantastic. And that was it. That's how it all worked. All right. Good. And that's it. And this morning, as I say, Paul's coming round. I wanted him to come and service my boiler, my water heater thing, and my gas fire in preparation for winter, which we've just entered now. So he's going to come round, but I've noticed up here you don't get a time. Oh yeah, I'll come round when I've finished doing my other stuff at some point. All right, and you don't want to push them for a time. You know, I want to fit in. I don't want to be as I am. You have to learn people's ways when you move into another area. Don't expect them to fit in around. You're the new one. You've got to fit in around them. So I then rang up my sister and I told her the story I just told you. And I said, I don't know what time is going to come. She said, well, you won't. She said, that's how it works up here. You know, someone will turn up at some point. It's a little bit like being, I don't know if you've ever been to the Caribbean. I was in Barbados, years ago, 25 years ago with my mate there. And whenever you went on a trip there, you know, it might say, meet at so-and-so at 10 o'clock. And you'd be there, you know, you're English. You'd be there 10:15. Not my mate. He'd be there 10 past. Because he's never early for anything. But you'd be there, I'd be there 10:15. Right, 10 o'clock would come. You think, where is these? Well, these people aren't here yet. Where are they? You know, we said 10 o'clock. And there might be another Barbadian there. Is that what they call people from Barbados? Barbadians? Barbados is this? I don't know what they call people from Barbados. And you speak to one of them. He said, yeah, well, he said 10 o'clock. I said, well, it is 10 o'clock. Yeah, but I don't mean 10 o'clock. It means sort of round 10 o'clock-ish. And they come wandering, you know, they walk slowly there, really slowly. All right, man. And they suck the teeth. All right, man. Do you want to get on the bus? It might be like 20 past 10. That's their idea of punctuality. But that's just how it is. You know, you can't complain just because if you tell me to be somewhere at 10, I will be there at like 20 to 10, 9:30 even. When I have my twice yearly appointment at the hospital in London, 1 o'clock appointment, I might be there at 12:15. Seriously, I cannot bear being late for anything, but that's just how I am. It's just one of those things, all right? Good. Right, I've got some news stories for you this morning. That's all working all right now, isn't it? Thank you. There's Ray Reynolds' little story. And all these papers are just obsessed by the X Factor and the celebrity. I gather the X Factor's finished now. I'm not quite sure who won or what he's like or anything like that, but it's all done now. Now, we were talking about boilers, weren't we? And trouble with mine this morning. Here's a new startup idea which I've seen in the Daily Mail this morning. And it says, is this the answer to expensive boiler replacements? A third of households would, and boilers only go when it's in the winter, don't they? Have you ever had one go? Mary, non-Irish Mary from Ireland, was telling me her boiler went again the other week. And it's quite a new boiler, so I did say to her, maybe you need a new boiler. She said, well, the bloke says I don't need a new boiler. It's something else. You know, because if your boiler stops working, it doesn't necessarily mean it's that unit that's gone wrong. There's so many bits, a blockage in the pipe, perhaps a leak somewhere. Maybe one of the radiators isn't tightened up properly. It could be so many different things. It says, talking about boilers, you know what? When that plumber comes around, I'm going to get him to give me a quote for central heating for in here. I think I'm going to ask him for a quote. I've kind of got my head round that. On the other hand, I might buy a new one, mightn't I? I don't know what to do. Don't know. No, I'll keep with the fan heaters for now. I'll keep with the heaters for now and see how I get on. It's a case of mucking around with heaters, knowing that you can only put 2 on at any one time, and one of those has to be on half power, in case you trip the switch. Because once you trip the switch, you don't want to do that. You do not want to go outside the caravan, when it's freezing cold to reset a switch, or when it's pissing down with rain. You just don't want to do it. Anyway, it says here, a third of households would struggle to pay for a boiler replacement should it break down, a new study has revealed. Now, I can give you a little tip there. Do not buy a boiler from British Gas. I'm serious. They will charge you £4,000, £5,000, £6,000, £7,000. You go to a local plumber and they should get you £2,000. That's all installed. Possibly less than that. I think I paid about £1,200 for mine in my house from a local boiler, from a local plumber in Bracknell. Proper plumbers, it's got several people working from little blue vans that go all over Bracknell. Bracknell Plumbing and Heating, I think it's called. And nice people as well. Always nice on the phone, and the blokes who come round to sort you out. Really, really good. British Gas will charge you a fortune. On the other hand, good morning to Peter. Morning, Peter. Just got your message there. Who's just woken up, looking out of his bedroom window. Oh, I never told you about that. The bedroom window, we have got the first frost in Woodall Spa. Thank you, Peter. Yes, I meant to tell you about that. So this morning, and I haven't got my blooming tripod with me. I'm so disappointed. This morning, the sun, I looked out of the window because I was up by 8 o'clock. The field in front of me, completely covered in white frost. It looked beautiful. And right in the corner, the sun was just coming up over the horizon and was a most beautiful orange colour. It was beautiful. I'll ask my brother-in-law if he's got a tripod I can borrow. The only thing is, I use, all my filming is done on an iPhone, and it's got like a special attachment for the tripod, which I don't have. I don't think I've got it with me, have I? I'll check in. I might have it with me, actually. If I haven't got it, I'll ask my brother-in-law if he's got one, and I'll try and get that sunrise over a frosted field. I think we've got frost again tomorrow, so that will be really nice. But the thing is with British Gas, of course, they will allow you to pay over time. So of course, not everyone's got like £2,500 to pay out for a boiler. I believe they will allow you to spread it over 2 years, British Gas. Okay, I'm sure they will charge interest, but I don't know that. Maybe they do it as a 0%. Well, here's another idea. A third of households would struggle to pay for a boiler replacement should it break down, a new study has revealed. This is in this morning's Daily Mail money section. As the winter threatens to move in, many Britons are currently underprepared for plummeting temperatures, according to research commissioned by Hyber, a new boiler installation company. It found that boiler replacement and installation is stressful and costly process for many families, with 36% of them admitting they haven't had their boiler checked or replaced in the last decade. The chief executive of Hyber, that's Hiber, said Britain has a boiler blind spot. Many of us never think to check our boilers until we have a problem with the heating or the water. Now, I have to tell you, I annually service my boiler at my house. It was new. I think I've had it for 3 years now. Very well installed. Every year, a bloke comes out once a year around November and services my boiler, which costs about 90 quid. And that's fantastic. And it just works all the time. I remember a lady at a car showroom telling me I think she said 75% of keeping your car on the road is having it serviced. She said, modern cars rarely go wrong. If you don't service them, though, they will let you down. And it's the same with boilers. Once a year, bloke comes round. I don't know what they do. I have no idea. He has a brush. I know he brushes something out and he's got the louver and things like that. Don't know what they do to a boiler. No idea. This company spoke to 1,000 people across the UK and found that one of the top concerns for families was being hit by a high energy bill, with concerns heightened after the Met Office warned it could be one of the coldest winters on record, which they say every year now. They say it every year. Let's have a look. While the industry is worth £7 billion, Hyber says it offers households an alternative option aside from the big players such as British Gas, who take up a huge chunk of the industry but have remained unchanged for years. Now, talking of boilers, I noticed there, Adrian said, I had my boiler from British Gas. I paid £1,900, but you have to watch, and they subcontract the job. Very messy, he says. Oh, really? They subcontract the job. Very messy, late. But Adrian, I'm having trouble getting. Let's read it again. I'll read it exactly as you've written it. I had my boiler from British Gas. I paid £1,900, but you have to watch, and they subcontract the job. Very messy, late. I'm trying to take the piss, but should I put a stop to that? Costing £500 in compensation back to me again. It was not a good experience. They were not fit. Okay, so it cost you £1,900. They didn't do it properly, and you're trying to get £500 back in compensation. Did you get the money back? I hope you did. I hope you did. Michelle, British Gas, wanted £4,950. I told you they're expensive. When I needed a new boiler, obviously I said a very quick no thanks. Ridiculous price. When was that, Michelle? Go to Bracknell Plumbing and Heating. They got blue vans. That's who do mine. They were very, very good, very reasonably priced, and really nice to talk to on the phone. What's the name of the woman I spoke to? I think it's a family type business. And if you're lucky, Michelle, you'll get either Sam or Nathan to come round and fit it for you. Oh yes, that's so you're two lovely young lads, and they're both like 6 foot tall. Sam's got dark hair, and Nathan's got like lighter coloured hair. That's who you want. Yeah, and say, can I have Sam or Nathan, please? But it was less than £2,000. I'm sure that's what I paid. Don't go to British Gas. Adrian says, I regularly get service. Thank you. Adam says, as a plumber, there's one thing people never check or know what to do, and that's turn off the water. Yeah, you need to know where the water turn off thing is. I've been called out to a burst water pipe. When I get there, water is pouring out and they've no idea where to turn it off, causing thousands of pounds of damage. Katie says she thinks she needs a service. Oh dear. Where else are we? Hello to Elaine. Did you get my text? What, on the phone? No text from you, Elaine. The only thing I've got from you is a message saying, did you get my text? Perhaps there was something else. Try sending it again, my darling. See if something comes out again. All right? Back to this then. This story there about Hyber is looking to provide a one-stop shop for energy products that is primarily focused on convenience and a strong customer service. So here we go. Hyber's plan is to make having a boiler replacement or installation quick and easy and painless. It's offering boiler recommendations, installation, 10-year warranties and an aftercare service to give its customers peace of mind. It claims that households will be able to receive a fixed and guaranteed quote in minutes via their website. So, does it say that you can pay over time? I'm sure it said you could pay over time here somewhere. Let me look at the top. Have I missed it out, have I? I missed out the top of this. Oh dear, where's that gone now? Hang on a minute. Just a minute now. Oh, It's going all over the place. Here we are. It doesn't... Households can get boiler on... Here we are. Households can get boiler on finance over 10 years with a warranty. So, well, that's not bad at all, is it? So if it was like... if the boiler costs you, I don't know, £2,000... that's going to cost you not even £100 a month for that, is it? Is that about right? Something like that. So that's a good idea. I do, you know, I don't have any complaints really about British Gas. I can't think that I haven't actually had any experience of them really, to be honest. British Gas. I think years gone by we were all on British Gas, weren't we? But not anymore. So there we are. John Parrish says that 3 radiators with a boiler cost £2,000. Well, yeah, I mean, I had some other work done. I had to replace the radiator in the kitchen. That had gone rusty, and it had gone rusty because I used to dry clothes over it. You mustn't dry clothes over radiators. You may not notice it. Over time, they will go rusty, and that's what happened to me. So replace that as well, and some those valve things, you know, what you adjust each radiator with on there. Roy says, I've got insurance on my boiler. British Gas service it and repair it if it breaks down. And some of those insurances are quite good, actually, aren't they? So you pay, what is it, like £20 a month or something, and that includes a service as well, doesn't it? Yeah. One of the properties I've got has got that gas landlord's gas insurance, and I think I pay £23 a month. And for that, I haven't got to do it. Once I've paid the £23 a month, if the tenant, if his boiler goes wrong or something goes wrong with his heating system, he rings them and deals with them direct. I haven't got anything to deal with at all, which is brilliant. And that is a British Gas thing that I've got there, actually, yeah. But I wouldn't buy a boiler off them. No, they charge far too much for these boilers. John, get Martin to fit it and just pay the gas guy to connect. I don't know if my brother-in-law could. Well, he actually probably could. He probably could, but I don't think he's ever fitted a central heating system. Not probably. I know he could. My brother-in-law can do anything. Anything like DIY, building, plumbing, he can do anything. And if he's not done it before, he'll watch the YouTube video, and there's bound to be one on there, installing central heating caravans. He'll watch a YouTube video and just do it. He would be able to just do it. Whether he would want to take on such a job, because that involves drilling holes in the floor, getting underneath the caravan, setting stuff up. I don't know if he'd want to do something like that. The plumber I've got coming round at some point when he wants to, I don't know when he can fit me in, he would be able to do it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sitting here quite warm now. It was all right in bed last night. I'm going to put my electric blanket on the bed, I've decided. That'll warm it up nicely before I get in it. Electric blanket, yes. Let's have a look there. Get Hive. Hive, lights, heat. Yeah, for the house it's all right. No good for here. You've got to have internet with Hive, haven't you? And all that. Oh, well, I've got internet here now, haven't I? I've got my broadband, which is working perfectly now. I'm on the 3 broadband. I got rid of the Vodafone. It just didn't work properly. Funny, innit? Let's have a look. Michelle, there you go. It was 18 months ago. It was sorted by a plumber my dad's friend knows and was under £2,000, you see. So British Gas quoted, what was it? $4,950. She got the job done for £2,000. Brilliant. Brilliant. Elaine said the weather in Newcastle. Now, I've got that now, Elaine. Elaine, darling, when you say you sent a text, do you mean to that number there, 07551259675? Because that should come up here. I'm getting texts from other people, but no text from you. Oh, someone's at the door. Just a minute now. Is that you, Paul? Oh, hang on a minute. All right, mate. I'm just finishing a little show. I'll just say goodbye and that. Right, I'll have to go, boys and girls. My plumber man's here, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye now.